All right, everybody, we're here with Chris Harris. He fights in the headlining bout of LFA 72. That takes place a week from today, as a matter of fact, July 26th at the Comerica Theater in Phoenix, Arizona. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm fantastic. What about you, John?
I'm doing flippin' fantastic over here.
I would actually pay to see you do a flip, John.
I would pay myself to see myself do a flip. I'm a big old boy. I don't know if I can flip pretty good.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let Jonathan go first with his set of questions because I tend to dominate these interviews, and I got to give my boy some shine. So I figured we got the headliner. We got the headliner on the phone. So, Crazy J, what you got for Mr. Chris Harris?
All right. Well, first off, I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit here and talk with us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
The first question I got for you is, what made you want to take up fighting?
Well, I fought a lot for free outside of training, and I guess I just thought I was tough. Used to see typical stuff, see it on the UFC shows, the Forrest Griffin and all that, and then didn't think it looked too hard. Thought I was tough enough to do it. And showed up to a gym one day and got thrown on my head by a 120-pound 14-year-old Asian kid, and never left.
So that was kind of like your christening, if you will, into the MMA world, huh?
Yep. This teenage kid that used to do judo back in the day. That was at the first gym I trained at.
Nice. Well, the second question I got for you, it's probably going to be a little bit tougher, maybe. I don't know. Well, with this year already half over, and you are main eventing LFA 72 next week. What are your plans for the rest of the year, and how do you start off in 2020?
So LFA is coming to Wichita, my hometown, next, or not next, but soon. I think it's in August. So I would assume if I win this fight that I would be main event or at least co-main event on that show coming here. And I think I'm close. My manager thinks I'm close to getting a call. I've gotten calls from Contender Series, gotten offers from the UFC that the timing, making weight wasn't going to work and whatever the reasons were. But I think with a good win over this guy and then another win when they come to Wichita, hopefully I'm knocking on the door of something.
Nice. Now, what promotion is like your main goal? Is it UFC, or do you want to stay with LFA? Like, what do you want to do?
I think everybody's ultimate goal has to be the UFC as of right now, but I really have been interested in, like all these other organizations that are doing these big tournaments. Like Bellator is bringing their tournaments back. PFL is having tournaments. Like it's exciting to see all these people, all these other promotions that are willing to, for lack of a better way to put it, like to pay these fighters so good, $1 million tournaments and stuff like that. I think one, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the UFC to pay guys more. But two, that opens up a lot of other doors, like there's other opportunities for guys to make decent money other places. I still think as of right now, the UFC has to be the ultimate goal. but I wouldn't be disappointed if I got a call from any of those guys. You know.
Nice. Yeah, I'd like to hear like what fighters how their fighters do their take on what promotion they would like to preferably fight at or fight with.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'd love to fight for like ONE FC too. That would be fun, like that, or Risen or whatever overseas. It'd be fun to get to fight overseas like that, like all the time. You know, I know the UFC goes overseas too, but like to fight for an organization based overseas, that'd be pretty cool to get to travel and see all that. But I mean, as of right now, I'm 29 years old. I need to make some money. I can't really be picky about where I go. Yeah, like I gotta go somewhere and make a paycheck.
Well, my third and final question I got for you is, what do you like to do in your spare time while you're not training?
That's kind of a trick question because I'm never not training.
Oh shit!
I don't do I don't do like the whole fight camps and then stop training and try to get back on point and all that kind of stuff. Like I just, ever since I've started this, I was just doing an interview earlier today too, and I said the same thing. Like I think the longest time that I've spent out of a gym would be a week. Like I went to Hawaii the week before my pro debut, and even then I was training while I was in Hawaii, like working out on my own and stuff. So I mean, like I love lifting weights and strength and conditioning. I'm a personal trainer and strength and conditioning coach for some athletes. Like, so I mean, I'm always in a gym at the very least working out, and I have a fight or not. The only thing that usually changes is my diet.
Yeah, and that's because of the cut weeks and stuff like that, right? Or is that just
because I mean, obviously I perform a little better when I'm not eating pizza and cheesecake and Olive Garden all the time. but I mean, and the weight cut, obviously, I have to cut some of that stuff out, or else I'd be able to fight at welterweight.
Oh, gotcha.
If I just ate clean all the time, I could fight at more natural weight class.
Gotcha. Well, that's all I've got for you, man. Thank you again, and I'm going to send you back over to the host with the most, Mr.
All right.
Steve.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I do know that Jonathan would definitely agree with you, and so would I. Food is sometimes it comes first,
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a weight cut kind of impossible, at least in our cases. Jonathan's a really big guy. I just can't seem to get any smaller. So, but we love food. Trust me. Yeah, if I didn't have the metabolism that I have, I'd be way bigger than Jonathan.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty lucky too.
So, okay. So, my questions for you, they're all gonna have to do with your. I'll start with your like professional MMA career type questions, and then I got like a little bit of a like, what do you call it? A lightning round, if you will. And some of the questions in the lightning round are, if you just don't have an answer, just say pass. You know what I mean? It's nothing too crazy. There's gonna be no points, no awards or anything like that. I might, send you a certificate or something. I can bring it with me on weigh-ins. You participated. Shit, I could have a trophy made too, but no pressure, okay? Okay. So you were originally scheduled as the co-main event against the Demigod. Now you guys got bumped up to the main event due to some late changes. Does that add any pressure going into this fight on the 26th next week?
I don't think so. I mean, obviously, like whether we were the main event or not, I think this was like a good fight for either one of our careers. You know what I mean? Like, Brendan Allen just got signed to the UFC, so the only people that I've lost to, one of them's undefeated and now a light heavyweight in Bellator, and I believe I'm the only person he hasn't finished. and then the other two guys are both in the UFC. So I mean, beating me is a good opportunity for him, and then for me, beating another top-ranked prospect around is a good opportunity for me. You know, so I think we're both. I think the fight, regardless of where it was on the fight card, is a big deal. But obviously, being the main event for LFA is a big deal. You know, they're a huge feeder organization to the UFC. They send a lot of guys to the UFC. So being the main event for them has a lot of eyes on it. And the fact that I think the last like 6 middleweight title holders for LFA, like Brendan Allen had to defend his title once or twice, I think, and I mean, but before that, all the guys that win their belt their next fight has been in the UFC. So I mean, that's a huge like opportunity. I mean, to be the main event, maybe, you know, who knows, maybe they put one of us in line for a title shot. I don't know, you know.
Okay, and I think that's what Jonathan was kind of alluding to earlier when he asked, you know, how you see your career playing out up until, you know, the beginning of 2020. So you had kind of laid out, you know, in your eyes, you win this fight, you headline Wichita, and then maybe you start next year fresh, either, you know, at the UFC level, maybe a contender series or a title fight. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that playing out that way at all.
Yeah, see, he would not be upset. Okay, and then you were talking about some of your losses. You know, you were talking about the guy that went over to Bellator. Now he's a light heavyweight, you know, and you didn't get finished by him. And then you got Allen, so all your losses are either, you know, Bellator or UFC fighters. So you're your number 1 and number 2 organizations, you know, give or take. I mean, it all depends on, you know, how you view it as a fan, but that's how I see it. I see it as, you know, the UFC has the better talent, and Bellator is, you know, a close second, especially when it comes to pay. I think that Bellator is kind of creeping up in there when it comes to pay, and I'm talking about like with more fighters, not just, you know, the champions and whatnot. So,
yeah.
Do you take any solace in the fact that, you know, your only losses are to top guys?
Yeah, I mean I think it shows, you know, the level that I'm at. I mean, all those fights I would gladly take again. You know, so it's not like those dudes didn't beat me. You know, like Jordan Young, the guy that beat me, that's in Bellator. He beat me. He had the right game plan to beat me, right, and beat me by a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other two, I made simple mistakes and got caught. I mean, that's MMA, you know what I mean? I made stupid mistakes that I shouldn't have made. You know, staying on the ground with Brendan Allen was a bad idea.
Okay.
You know, that I should have been up the moment I could when I was on top of him, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like the other fight that I lost was too fast to say this, but I feel like I was winning both fights. You know, like the other fight that I lost, I made the one mistake that I was trying to focus on the entire fight camp, which is to not kick a wrestler in his body, because I love body kicks.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I do is throw a body kick to a wrestler. And I mean, that's not a good idea. I end up on the ground and then you choke me. You know, so it wasn't. Both of those fights I would gladly take again on it. You know what I mean? At any time. So it wasn't like I got beat. You know, like they were real close fights up until
they weren't.
I made a mistake. Yeah, exactly. Until they were over. Before I knew it, I'm caught in Brendan Allen's legs and seeing stars. You know, so.
Well, I'll tell you this. Now, look, Brendan Allen, he's deceptively good.
He is.
He's really young and he's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, you would know better than me. You were in there with the guy, but I mean, he kind of has like it's deceptive. He doesn't look like a guy that would be as strong or as well-rounded or as good on the ground as he is.
Yeah, I think he'll grow into that more too. He's still young. I think. Well, I mean, how old is he?
23.
28, I think, or something like that. 23.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh yeah. I mean, he'll get stronger. I mean, he's still a kid. He's gonna get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's gonna get that quote unquote grown man strength, and he's gonna be even stronger than he is now. I thought they were saying something about him being old on the Contender Series.
No, they were saying something about him being too young.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were saying, because I saw they were talking about something about his age, but okay. Well, yeah, that's even better for him. 23 in the UFC.
Yeah, right. But I mean, that kind of, given your losses and given your record and given the fact that you're headlining for LFA, I mean, things got to be looking up for you. If you win this fight, I mean, you're right there for a title shot. And like you said, every last title holder for the last couple years has gone straight over to the UFC. So it's not far-fetched to think that if you get the belt, I mean, shit, you're UFC bound, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
So now I want to ask you, if you could have one of your 3 losses ran back, which one would you take first?
Like, are you saying fight them again now, or go back and fight them again, like back when I fought them?
No, fight them now. Fight them now.
Okay, all right, because that's two different. I think that would be 2 different answers probably.
Oh, hey, give me both answers then.
Okay, if I could fight another guy now, it would probably be. I don't know. Maybe it would be the same answer. I don't want to say that I want to fight Brendan Allen again because I like him and I'm glad he's doing good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it probably would be him just because he just got signed to the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that would probably be like the best. And I don't like doing like thinking of stuff as quote unquote like business moves. Like, that's why you look at my record. Like, I fight whoever I'm told to fight whenever I'm told to fight them. Like, they asked me about that in the last interview, why I'm not padding my record like other people. But
you can tell by your record that you don't turn down fights. You can tell.
Yeah.
You take the hardest fight available. That's kind of admirable.
Yeah, anybody. I mean, I'll take the easiest fight available, too. Whoever wants to fight. That's what I've always said. Like, I don't care. Like, if you call me and ask me to fight this guy, and, like, my manager and coaches have got on to me about that before too, fighting guys that I shouldn't be fighting because it's still a risk to get injured. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
I mean, I fight who I'm told to fight when I'm told to fight them. You know what I mean? But so it'd probably be as far as like business move goes, it'd probably be Brendan Allen just because he just got signed to the UFC. He's got the limelight. You know.
Makes sense.
But if I could go back and run it back when it happened, it would probably be the Ren Counter fight. Just because I knew going into that fight that I told everybody, I told my girlfriend, I told my coaches that whoever won this fight was going to the UFC next. Like I said that before the fight, and then he beats me and he goes to his very next fight in the UFC. So I knew that was a very like pivotal point, you know. So I think that would probably be the one I would run back when it happened.
Yeah. I mean,
and then I wouldn't want to say the Jordan Young fight. Like if I would have beat Jordan Young, I would have been like they did. You know, Jimmy Smith did the Foundations video on me and everything before the fight, like talking about how I'm the next up and coming middleweight in Bellator and all this kind of stuff. So I feel like if I would have went back, if I'd say I would go back and run that back right then maybe I'd be in Bellator, and yes, that would be a good thing. That'd be a great thing. But then at that point in time, I was honestly more focused on going to Bellator than the UFC. Like I was, because I had fought for them already with Julian Marquez fight, and I had a lot of hype already with Bellator, and they were coming to Wichita, so it made it really easy. So I was like, that was like, I wasn't even really even focused on going to the UFC at that time. I wanted to go to Bellator.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would have been like a fork in the road. Like I would have went to Bellator and and it wouldn't be a bad thing to be there. You know what I mean? But still make great money and still fight the top guys. But it would have like completely shut the door on the UFC.
Yeah, a lot of fighters have been saying that. You know, Bellator kind of gives you the stigma where if you bounce out of that promotion and it's not like on a win streak where you're testing the free agency or whatever, that it's kind of hard to get in the UFC once you have that on your resume, at least nowadays. Yeah. So I think it's probably has something to do with like the UFC not wanting to bring Bellator guys over. You know, like they're viewed as the big organization, so they're probably like, you know, like we don't want to say like, oh, this guy left Bellator and now he's coming to the UFC. Like, you know, that's kind of a, I don't know, like I feel like that would like, they would think it'd make them not look bad, but look, you know, look a little. It would give Bellator more like props than they want to, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't really make sense because the UFC was built upon finding the best fucking fighter on the planet, whose skill set was better, and then if
that was still what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's all about dollar signs.
I don't feel like this is really about who's the best fighter, or who's the toughest fighter, who's the most exciting fighter anymore. Like I feel like this is about who's the best on social media. That's my first guess. But I feel like this is like the biggest social media following and the biggest padded record.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready for some fun ones, man?
Yep, just a second. Let me grab this food.
Oh, no, yeah. Tear it up, man.
Thank you. Alright, so let's do it.
Okay, so for the lightning round, here's how it's going to work, okay? I'm going to ask you a question, and then you're just going to give me the first that comes to your head. If you do not have an answer, all you say is pass, okay? And it's very short. I don't have very many of these questions because this is just meant to be fun or so that I can laugh at you later. Either way. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Favorite exercise?
Squats.
Sports team?
Oh, I don't really watch sports. Pass.
Comics or cartoons? Comics or cartoons?
Cartoon? Lion King. If you're gonna go cartoon, but if you're gonna go comic, it's X-Men.
Okay. Movies? Going out to the movies or staying at home and Netflix and chill?
I got a baby mama now, so I'm going to the movies.
All right. And what's the best fight you've ever seen with your own eyes?
Me versus Julian Marquez.
Woo! All right, and I guess that answers the last one, the favorite fight you've been in.
Julian Marquez.
See, that wasn't too bad.
No.
That wasn't too bad. Now, I want to talk about Kansas here for a minute. If I'm going to your hometown, where do I go for the best grub?
Best grub depends on what you want. If you want some tacos, there's the place is literally called Tacos Fajitas. a little mom and pop shop around the corner from us that we go to all the time. One of my buddies cooks hot wings for us all on Fridays. He'll cook wings, and we can get them. Like, I've been getting those until I started this diet for the fight. So if you want some wings, you go see him. There's a good barbecue spot that all of my teammates are sponsored by, but I'm not. So I haven't been there, but apparently that's like some of the best barbecue around.
Well, until they sponsor you, maybe we don't talk about them, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't say any names.
All right, that's cool,
and
man.
Then, I mean, there's not a bunch of. I mean, there's some decent spots to eat here, but it's not like a huge like grub city. You know, there's a couple burger spots too that my buddy always talks about, but I've never been there.
Right on. Okay, now we're coming to the point of the interview where I like to give the fighter. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking a cerveza over here, so yeah, pardon me. But I like to give the fighter, as much time as they would like to thank their sponsors, training partners, whoever they wanna thank. The floor is yours. You got as much time as you want. Go ahead, my man.
I just thank all my training partners that show up and help me get ready for fights. My family that has always supported me, and I mean, family means my sponsors and everybody too. Everybody knows who they are, you know. Yeah, everybody that's been there this whole time, and he kept me going. I couldn't do it without my teammates, my family, and the people who have supported me.
Well, right on, man. I want to thank you for your time. I know you got food waiting, so we won't keep you any longer. This is Chris Harris. He headlines LFA 72 in Phoenix, Arizona at the Comerica Theater. Opposed Daniel the Demigod Madrid. Again, Chris, thank you for your time. Good luck. Safe weight cut. And we'll see you at the weigh-ins on Thursday, and we'll watch you compete on Friday, my man. So you be safe, okay?
No, thank you, guys.